Hello everyone, happy Vlogmas. I have seen people in the booktube space doing the 2024 Book Awards, and I thought that I would throw in my participation as well. The first person I saw doing this was Haley Pham, so I will put her original video in the description if you want to see that, and maybe a couple of others when I come across them. But let's get into it. So for each category, I will give you my 5 nominees, and then I will tell you who the winner is, for me, personally. So we're going to start with Best Cover, and the nominees are Mr. Magic, The Berry Pickers, Mame, The Final Girl Support Group, and Iona Iverson's Rules for Commuting. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Mr. Magic. I love this cover so much. It was really difficult to pick between this one and The Berry Pickers for me, but this one definitely takes the cake. I love the bright pink cover and the melting TV and the static. Oh, it's just a masterpiece. I love it. Next, we've got Best New to Me Author. So these are authors that I had not read prior to this year. They're not necessarily new on the scene by any means, but they're new to me. So the nominees are Emily Henry, Amanda Peters, Jessica George, Alex McKildies, and Victoria E. Schwab. And the winner is Victoria Schwab. This year I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which you will see in many other categories after this. And it was wonderful, and it made me so excited to read her backlist and just all the books that she's written before Addie LaRue and all the books that she's writing after. I'm just very excited. Some of these were debut authors, so I don't have anything to read prior to their debut novels, obviously, so I'm hoping that they will come out with more books, but I don't know. So I picked V.E. Schwab because I just have a lot of books to read from her and I'm really excited about it. The next category is Craziest Plot Twist, and the nominees are The Silent Patient, The Final Girl Support Group, Mr. Magic, The Saturday Night Ghost Club, and We Used to Live Here. And the winner is The Silent Patient by Alex McKildies. I read this book in one sitting and just ate it up. I loved it. It was a very easy 5-star rating for me. The plot twist might be predictable for some people, but I didn't see it coming. And it really shocked me. And I think the fact that I read it all in one day, just there was so much anticipation and energy built up that it just really paid off for me. So this is the winner for me this year. My next category is Best Audiobook, and the nominees are The Berry Pickers, Mame, Sourdough, The Vanishing Half, and Malibu Rising. And the winner is, of course, you all knew it, The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. I've already talked about how much I love this book in one of my previous vlogs, but truly, the audiobook was so well done. I loved that there were 2 different voice actors for both of the POVs. It just really made it feel so real and like I was reading or listening to them read their own journals. It was just wonderful. And I think I would have enjoyed it almost as much if I had read the physical copy instead. But I think listening to the audiobook really just put it above and beyond for me. So definitely the best audiobook I've listened to this year. My next category is Most Immersive Setting. And the nominees are The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, I Who Have Never Known Men, The Secret History, Along for the Ride, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And the winner is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This book is such a masterpiece, and I cannot believe that I waited so long to read it. I'll give you a little just snippet of the synopsis just so you know what it's about if you have not heard of it prior. Deep underground, 39 women live imprisoned in a cage. Watched over by guards, the women have no memory of how they got there, no notion of time, and only a vague recollection of their lives before. So it's very like science fiction, it's dystopian, it feels very apocalyptic, and you are definitely in it with the characters when you're reading. It's wonderful. Easy 5 stars. Easy winner. My next category is most quotable, and the nominees are Upstream, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Braiding Sweetgrass, Mr. Magic, and Riders and Lovers. And the winner is, you already know, Braiding Sweetgrass. Absolute, just beautiful, poetic, amazing, cannot get enough of it. I immediately loaned it out to someone so they could read it. Like, this book changed my life, and I can't wait to reread it myself. Upstream is a very close second because I did reread that for a 3rd time this year, but I think Braiding Sweetgrass takes the cake. My next category is saddest book, and the nominees are The Secret Life of Addie LaRue, In the Dream House, Our Wives Under the Sea, Cast, and Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. And the winner is Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. I was so depressed after reading this book. I think listening to the audiobook also made it like 10 times more devastating. And I've talked about this in a vlog previous as well. But it truly was the saddest thing that I read this year. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, you can decide that for yourself, but it definitely put me in the trenches. My next category is most underrated. So most of these books, their average rating on Goodreads was under 4 stars, or it just didn't have a lot of ratings in general. So that's how all of these nominees ended up where they ended up. Sourdough, Meet Me by the Fountain, The Mystery Guest, Joyland, and Necessary Trouble. And the winner is Sourdough. Of course it is. I loved this book so much, and I don't think I had heard anyone talking about it before I read it. I read it based on the recommendation of a friend, but other than that friend, I had not heard anything about this book. I will give you a very, very brief synopsis of it because I don't know how I can contain the whole story in just a summary. But basically you're following, what's her name? Lois Clary. She's a software engineer and she hates her job. She ends up going to her favorite little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and they're like, hey, we're closing down, we're leaving, but there's a car. That was so loud and unnecessary. Lois goes to her favorite hole-in-the-wall restaurant, finds out that they're about to close down, and they're like, hey, we're going to give you this sourdough starter as a gift, as a parting gift to you. And then she just becomes obsessive about this sourdough starter, and it kind of takes over her whole world in a very positive and creative way. And it's just so wholesome, unexpectedly wholesome, and is a lot about just slowing down and appreciating the small moments in life. And it's wonderful. I loved it so much. It deserves so much more hype than it has gotten. My next category is weirdest book, and the nominees are Our Wives Under the Sea, We Used to Live Here, Recursion, Blueberry Muffin Murder, and Password to Larkspur Lane. And the winner is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. This book, when I finished it and reviewed it, I was like, I don't even know how to rate this book because it made me feel so many conflicting feelings, and I really half the time didn't understand what was going on. And it's classified as horror, but it's a very weird version of horror. It's very subtle horror, and then it gets more and more intense towards the end. It's very slow paced, even though it's a short book. I don't know, you'll have to look into it, but it's a weird one. Next category is Best Escapism, and the nominees are The Thursday Murder Club, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, The Secret of Redgate Farm, and A Psalm for the Wild-Built. And the winner is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. How could you not love a group of friends in a retirement home solving a murder? How could you not love that? I read this book over like a weekend. I finished it pretty quickly, but it like kind of consumed me in the best way. And I pretty much forgot all about what was happening in the world when I was reading it, and it was just so fun. Just a fun little time. Very silly. I loved it. Next category is Most Unique Plot, and the nominees are A Psalm for the Wild-Built, Mr. Magic, This Is How You Lose the Time War, I Who Have Never Known Men, and Recursion. And the winner is This Is How You Lose the Time War. I'll read the synopsis for you because I don't think I could remember enough of this book. I read it so long ago, many months ago, but I just remember it being very different. So I'll read the synopsis for you. Among the ashes of a dying world, an agent of the commandant finds a letter. It reads, "Burn before reading." Thus begins an unlikely correspondence between two rival agents hell-bent on securing the best possible future for their warring factions. Now what began as a taunt, a battlefield boast, grows into something more, something epic, something romantic, something that could change the past and the future. Except the discovery of their bond would mean the death for each of them. There's still a war going on after all, and someone has to win that war. So, very unique. It's unlike anything I've ever read before, and I did really enjoy it. And then lastly, we have Most Unexpected 5-Star Rating of this year. And the nominees are The Berry Pickers, Necessary Trouble, The Secret Life of Bees, People We Meet on Vacation, and Sourdough. And the winner is Necessary Trouble by Drew Gilpin Faust. This is a memoir of coming of age in a conservative Southern family in post-war America. So this is about Drew Gilpin Faust growing up in the 1950s all the way through like the 1970s. And I'm already fascinated by this era of American history. So I love first-person accounts of that time. But I found this book because I was scrolling through the Libby app looking for an audiobook that was readily available. Like I didn't have to put it on hold. And ended up getting this one. I knew nothing about it, had never heard of it, and ended up absolutely falling in love with it. It was incredible. And apparently the physical copy includes black and white images from her childhood and her growing up, and I really would like to see those. But I really loved it. I had not heard about it previously. When did it come out? It came out last year in 2023, and there are only a little over 300 reviews of it on Goodreads. So y'all need to get on this book because it was so good. Definitely an unexpected 5-star, but very much deserved. And guys, that is my 2024 Book Awards. I hope you enjoyed that. I just thought that I would do a quick little fun thing. I really liked the idea, and to me, things like the Goodreads Choice Awards don't really do books justice. So I like to throw my 2 cents in there in the conversation. So do the same in the comments. If you've read any of these books or all of them, let me know if you think they should have won in the categories that they won in. Or if you would have placed anything else in those categories for those to win. Let me know if any of your favorite booktubers are also doing their own 2024 Book Awards because I would love to see them. I think these videos are so much fun. But for now, we're gonna end the video, so I will see you guys next time. Bye!